Hello and welcome to the second Tournament of Legends. This is the second North American qualifier event. I'm Justin Chat.
And I'm here because today we got 32 teams trying to compete for only 2 slots to enter the finals on August 24th.
So straight out of Colombia and Blacklisted qualified for the finals for the Tournament of Legends 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Okay.
Just right after our fight night.
And today we're going to find out who 2 of those other teams are going to be. Who's going to join straight out of Colombia and Blacklisted in the finals for the Tournament of Legends 2.
Yep.
I'm excited. This is going to be good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget, viewers, make sure that you guys stick around. Make sure you guys are trying to stay in chat. We got a lot of gems. We got a lot of llama mini pets to give away, so be sure to stay tuned for that as well.
Definitely. Today, we're going to be streaming for you guys 5 matches total. We're going to have 2 quarterfinal matches. Okay, and then we're going to have the 2 semifinal matches. Now, those 2 semifinal matches are the important ones because the winners of those 2 matches move on to the finals here on August 24th.
Yep.
So those are the 2 games that you're really going to want to watch because the winners of those get to have that shot at that legendary weapon.
Yep.
Before that,
I mean, let's just dive right into it. We got a lot of NA All-Stars coming out today on Team Megalodon, a lot of other ones as well. So why don't we take a look at some of the players that got inducted into the NA All-Stars. One of the first ones right off the top of the list, K-Pud, someone we're fairly familiar with.
Yes, we are.
On Fight Night. Seen him a lot around. Definitely one of those names that you kind of just know if you're an avid Guild Wars 2 PvP player. K-Pud, really known for that Axe Sword longbow lately, kind of bringing that EU flavor to NA. We saw a lot of him in Tournament of Legends, the first one. That his team took second place, I believe. Yep. He was part of KPZ, part of that team that kind of brought that same Apex-style comp and brought it all the way without practice, second place. I mean, it's a big feat.
And we're going to be able to watch him play today. He's on Megalodon. He's
right.
the number 1 seed. Megalodon's already won their first match.
Right.
So they've already moved on to the next round. So they're already doing pretty well. I'm going to be interested to see how well he plays because, again, an all-star candidate player or an all-star winning player now here today. That's going to be pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, definitely going to love to watch him today. Going to love to watch him in Germany at Gamescom. Yeah. Looking forward to all of that.
So the second player that qualified was Fanaram.
Right.
And Fanaram, ex-Team Paradigm member.
Yep.
And that was the team
both
back
NA,
in the day.
Both NA and EU, too.
Yeah. I mean, the EU Team Paradigm, that was the team for Guild Wars 2 for the longest time.
Right.
And just playing Ely for them, very cool. Glad that he made it. Definitely a spot well-deserved. He's going to be fun to watch in the Gamescom event coming up.
Yeah, a little bit of commotion behind Fanaram, though, because of that whole thing where he's played a lot of EU. So a lot of people are a little upset about that. How do you feel about that?
You know what? I'm torn. I personally, I still think he deserved the slot.
Right.
I don't think it mattered. He's a great player and a definite all-star. I didn't really have a problem with the region difference, to be honest with you. I really didn't have it.
It's definitely a star player for sure.
Exactly.
You're gonna see during Gamescom, you're gonna see him playing primarily Ellie, I believe.
Okay.
He's played a lot of that DD Celestial build, done a lot of the SD burst in the past. Another build that he's been kind of toying with is similar to Zeus's build, that sword focus or scepter focus burst damage as well, with some good utility behind it. So it's going to be nice to see him as well at Gamescom.
Now, the next player that I'm really excited for, this is one that I voted for, was Subcutie.
Right.
Subcutie, the Mesmer, did really, really well in a lot of the Miss PD and ESL events recently. Another member of Megalodon.
Yep.
So we're going to get to watch Subcutie today. So that's the second all-star that's actually going to be playing today on our stream live. Subcutie has done a lot for the community, specifically the Mesmer community. And as somebody that dabbled a little bit in Mesmer, I've really appreciated his posts in the forums and some of the guides that I've seen him made.
Yeah.
So that was pretty cool.
That's something I should definitely check out. I'm not very good at Mesmer.
I am terrible at Mesmer.
Well,
yeah,
maybe we should check out Subcutie's guide.
Yeah, but Subcutie's guides are pretty cool to read.
Right. Going right down the list, Zombify.
Nice.
Household name again.
Yeah.
Household name again. Very, very strong Necro player, capable of running both power as well as what he's been seen running recently, which is that kind of corruption terror build
Yeah.
that we've been seeing a lot lately. The 0-6-4-0-4. Nosecock ran it a lot. So we're used to seeing that build. We're going to see it in a possibly different flavor with Zombify. Definitely one of those kind of top tier necros that's been kind of omnipresent in the scene since pretty much the beginning. As an X-Sync member, the team that went on and took second overall at PAX.
Got to go to PAX.
Yep.
Got to play live on the LAN event. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, so we're going to be able to see him again at another live event, so that's really exciting. I think they also took MLG Invitational first or second. Definitely a top team in MLG Invitational.
They were one of the, they were definitely one of the top teams.
So definitely a top player. Definitely a good choice in my opinion. So really looking forward to seeing more from Zombify for sure.
I think finally, the last player that we got to talk about, he is last but definitely not least here.
Yeah.
The last qualifier is Zeus.
Right.
Another one that we had just 2 weeks ago on our fight night, and we were talking about how good he played against Apex.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting here and we listed him as we thought he would win man of the match.
Yep.
He was one of our favorites. He was very close in the voting.
Yep.
Hiba took that, but just an incredible player to watch.
Yep.
With that Scepter focus fresh air build that he runs, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pretty cool stuff. Another guy that he just came out with a guide for his, so he puts all of his tech
book. Yep.
All of his tech out on the forums if you want to go check out how he plays his build. He's another guy that does incredible things for the community. I'm really happy for him. I'm really glad that he made it.
Definitely one of the best. It's nice to see kind of the players giving back.
Yeah.
Zeus, Sup Cutie, and those are just two of many. Honestly, there's a lot of players kind of doing that now. Just kind of giving back to the community, kind of explaining things, describing why they do certain things. Actually, I believe Zeus was the one that just posted in the forums about getting some ideas for a new series that he wants to do that's based on kind of like decision making for PvP. So Zeus being an NA All-Star team winner, I mean, that's definitely something you guys should be a part of if you're looking to learn more about SPVP in this game.
Exactly. The only thing we do have to mention, our North American All-Star list is pretty strong.
It is.
But I look across the ocean, across the pond,
and
I see what EU's bringing.
Yep.
I'm a little scared. I'm not gonna lie. Okay.
The entirety of Team
me?
Mist.
The
entire Team Mist.
Didn't we just watch them yesterday go all the way through and just instantly qualify?
Undefeated.
I mean, oh my gosh. And so now we're going to have to see them play against our NA All-Stars in over at Gamescom. You know what, Zeus, Zombify, K-Pud, I love you guys, but get training, please. Okay? NA needs to win this one. All right? We got to do this for Pride.
After PAX. We got to come back, guys.
It's time. Okay?
We got to come back.
So if you're watching this, guys, All-Stars, we need you to practice. Okay, excellent. Moving on. We wanted to explain a pretty cool giveaway that we're going to do. This is a DPS giveaway on Twitter today. We have 6 gem codes that we're going to give away to you guys. But the way that you get the gem codes is you have to go to our Twitter account. Okay, so it's at DigiPro Sports. At DigiPro Sports. You can just click the link down at the bottom on our stream page. You have to follow us, and you have to tweet something at us. Okay, so you follow us and you tweet something at us, and we have 6 gem codes that we're going to give away to players that do that. So if you want the gem codes, you need to go to our Twitter account. We've got 6 of them to give away, but go to our Twitter account, follow us on Twitter, and then tweet at us. And we'll get those gem codes to you the second we have some winners to announce. Now, we're not the only group that's doing this. Misspedia is doing this as well.
Okay.
I just talked to Seraph on Skype, and he is also doing it. So go to Misspedia as well, at Misspedia, and tweet at them to get another shot at
Definitely a lot of chances for people to earn something.
You've got plenty of shots at giveaways because that's not the only giveaway that we're doing. We're going to do several Llama Pit giveaways today, too.
We got 6 Twitter giveaways for gems.
Yeah.
We also have other gem giveaways on the stream, and we also have llama mini pets, I believe, to also give away on the stream. So definitely stay tuned. You guys have a strong chance of winning at least something.
So what we're here for today, though, is the Tournament Legends 2.
Right.
Let's take a look at the bracket and go ahead and see how the teams are doing.
Right.
And start just, making some predictions and seeing which teams we think are going to come out of this bracket as the qualifiers.
Yeah.
So when I look at the bracket here, we've got Megalodon confirmed. Already won their first 2 matches. Wow. So
Yep.
since we've been talking, they blazed through 2 teams already. They beat Zombies Can't Swim in the first round, and they beat Conspiracy in the second round.
Yep.
So they are already confirmed for round 3. So they're already in the semifinals.
And that's going to
or
be
the quarterfinals. Sorry,
yeah.
just like that.
And that's going to be between, Eternal Vigil, big and strong, the 8th and 25th seed. So we're gonna look to see if maybe there's a possible upset in there.
Wow.
Both teams, went through pretty strong in both of their initial qualifier rounds. So, you never know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of new players to the scene, and it might be an upset.
Yeah.
It might be an upset.
That's going to be curious. Down at the lower part of the bracket, we've got Japan, Thailand, Croatia. I don't think
fourth
there's
seed.
any surprises there. Them moving on to the next round.
I definitely see at least the first, second, third, and fourth teams. I mean, they're seeded that way for a reason. They're definitely going to make it through at least to the stream for us to watch them all play. So I definitely not something appalling at all for me there.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. And then down at the bottom too, we had tournament ticket and the Federal Agents haven't moved on yet, but we've got Angry Passengers beating Do More Damage Volume 1. So again, it'll be interesting to see what game we actually put on stream in a little bit. For that. So good stuff. All right, awesome.
And keeping in mind, guys, we got exactly five matches, I believe, in total, and those are again the 2 semifinal, the 3rd and 4th place, which is going to be last, and before everything else, we're going to do 2 quarterfinal matches as well.
So we saw Team Mist and Enhanced Gaming qualify yesterday for EU. Now I want to hear a prediction from you. Who do you think is coming for NA? Who do you think is coming out of this bracket and going on to the finals?
First of all, just to go back on EU, I just want to touch base. Yesterday was a good show. They did a good job. Every team really just showed up. There was a lot of close matches. There's a lot of just where it came down
and
to.
It was cool seeing Naya on commentary with I know him as Daniel Bajebro too. That was cool. It was cool to see Naya out there.
But both teams that qualified for the for that Tournament of Legends final round, both teams went completely undefeated.
Wow.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
And that's something we've been seeing from
didn't
the
drop
top
a single
teams.
game. You
but
mean like
yeah.
in like when it was
No
best 2 out of 3,
rounds.
they just
no
2-0'd,
rounds. Yep.
You know?
2-0, 1-0. Some forfeits in like the first round, the preliminary rounds. But undefeated.
Wow.
Undefeated.
So today, looking at NA,
right?
Who do you got? Who do you got coming out? I want to hear a prediction.
Okay, well, definitely we got to look at the top 4 teams. Those are going to be the big ones. So first seed, you got Team Megalodon confirmed.
Mm-hmm.
We just talked about them. A lot of names on that team that we have to look out for. A lot of all-stars, too. We got K-Pud, one we just talked about.
Yeah.
We've got Subcutie, someone we just talked about. We also have Quilja, arguably one of the top guardians in the game.
Definitely.
We also have Rar, a very popular player.
Yep.
And we also have Shirayuki. So definitely 5 players that they're gonna bring some pain today.
Yeah.
I definitely see them moving forward without a doubt.
They're already guaranteed to be in the quarterfinals at least because they won their first 2 matches. So,
they're already in.
Yeah, they're already in.
They just
they're
2 more rounds.
They're
guys.
2 more rounds away.
2 more rounds.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you got the number 1 seed.
Right. And then I'm gonna go ahead and say that Thailand, Japan, Croatia. I'm going to say that they're a strong team. However, I'm going to put it between Team Holy and I'm going to put it between Team No Clue as well.
Okay.
However, I'm going to go ahead and jump the gun a little bit, and I'm going to say that the 3rd place team, Team Holy, is actually going to beat out the 2nd seed team and take that take that 2nd slot as well.
All right.
That's what I'm gonna call it there.
So you don't see any surprise teams coming out.
I'd love to see them, but I can't put my money on.
So you don't think we're gonna have a repeat of Straight Outta Columbia coming out and
it would be lovely to see.
Elusive,
if you're watching right now, if you're gonna upset, please do. But I don't see it.
You don't see it happen. So I'm gonna make 2 predictions here. One's not so bold, and then another one's a little bold. Okay.
Yep.
So I've got 2 for you.
Right.
First of all, I think Megalodon takes it.
Yep.
Now the one caution to that is Megalodon's a team that just was put together.
Right.
Okay. So they're maybe they might have some communication issues, but they're all top players. All-stars.
We just saw a team kind of put together just take out Apex, the winners of TOL,
Exactly.
TOL1.
So, even despite those concerns of being a team that was just put together, I still think Megalodon goes and qualifies coming out of that top bracket. Down at the bottom, I got to give a shout out to these guys because I was talking to them yesterday. Guerreros de la Ultima Alencia. That's a team I want to watch. All right. Guerreros de la Ultima Alencia. All right.
Okay.
Down at the bottom of the bracket.
6th seed.
I promised these guys that I would give them a shout out on stream. I was talking to them yesterday. They were a Tournament of Legend 1 team, and they were a little nervous, okay, because it was their first tournament. But they were amped up, ready to play. You know what? If you're looking for a surprise team to root for them, okay? Because they were really excited. And honestly, when we talk about the Tournament of Legends 2 and the way this has been structured, I love seeing more teams get a chance to compete.
Yeah.
It was kind of upsetting to me to see that the tournament was only restricted to 64 teams last time.
Yeah.
This time we've doubled it to 128. Okay. And I like seeing more teams come out, newer teams, the teams with names I don't recognize. So I went ballistic when I saw Straight Out of Colombia qualify. I want to see that again.
We love watching those stories unfold.
Exactly.
TOL1, Angelic Synergy?
Synergy? Yeah.
Angelic Synergy is what I unfortunately didn't come back as Angelic Synergy for TOL2 for us, but definitely one of those teams we loved to watch. These teams that they just come up out of nowhere and just surprise everyone. So definitely we'll have to take a look. I'll be interested in seeing that.
Yeah, exactly. So I think now what we should do is try to get a giveaway. Try to do a giveaway for the fans that have been patiently waiting and watching right now. So guys, right now, we're going to do a giveaway for one Llama mini pet finisher. Now, I know yesterday it was hashtag Llama Prophecies, but we're not on Misspedia's channel. We're going to be on ours. So we set it up a little differently. It's ! raffle. Okay? When I say go, and I'm going to make sure that our stream guys are ready for this, but when I say go, I want you to do ! raffle. Spam that in the chat or type that in the chat, and we will determine right now who gets a Llama mini pet to take home today. Let's just double check and see if they're ready, and I'll let you guys know.
But in the meantime, why don't we just keep this going? We definitely saw a lot of these players, like we said earlier.
Yeah.
We saw a lot of these players on our fight night.
Yep.
So looking back to that a little bit,
we're going to pause real fast. I want you guys to spam ! raffle right now. We're good for the raffle right now. We're all set up. Spam ! raffle in the chat. We are good for that. So go ahead and do that. And we're going to announce the winner of the Llama mini pet on the stream when I get it in my headset. Yeah. Okay. So just ! raffle for being so patient with us, guys. And you will win the Llama mini pet to take home. We've got 4 more to give away after this. So if you don't win this time, stay tuned. Okay, but ! raffle to win that. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there.
All right.
The producer got in my ear and was like, okay, we're ready.
All right. Going back into it, though, like we said, K-Pud, one of those guys we saw on our fight night, putting together that team last minute with Heba, with Zeus, with Noskok, coming through, doing a really good job versus Apex. K-Pud doing really strong against Tarsus in the matchup. In that 1v1 kind of scenario. We're probably going to see a lot of that tonight.
Yeah.
Definitely something that helped them take that win, being able to 1v1 Tarsus, which a lot of teams have a problem doing. Definitely one of the things that the Apex team is used to doing is just sending Tarsus to that 1v1 and just having him win it almost every time, almost without fail. You could probably look at like the statistics or whatever, and Tarsus is up there for sure. He's definitely up there. And sending K-Pud and having K-Pud not only hold his own, but sometimes winning that far point during that assault against Tarsus's home.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Okay.
But
yeah. 2 other players that I think were a big difference in the fight night again was Zeus, who we talked about earlier, and then you got to mention Noskok.
Yep.
Who, by the way, just won our gems.
Really?
Yeah, Noskok, congratulations! You just won the gems.
Congratulations.
So yeah, puts a great puts a great show on at fight night, and then comes on,
Yep.
watches the stream, and wins the first gem.
Yeah,
code.
and don't forget, guys, make sure that when you go for these raffles, you have to make sure that you have followed the channel on the stream. You have to make sure that you follow the stream. If you don't follow the stream, when we go to do the check for the raffle and you aren't following, we have to move on and do a different winner. So make sure you guys are following the stream.
That's pretty much standard for all raffles that we do. And I know Misspedia does the same thing. So again, guys, try to follow the channel down at the bottom if you want to win those gems, please. Okay, cool.
And awesome. not only that, but going forward, that's going to help us out. We're going to be able to bring more content to you guys. You're going to be able to see us more often, our bright, shiny, pretty faces. I know at least I'm a 9 out of 10, right?
I don't know about that.
All right,
well,
whatever.
About that.
Yeah. Going back into it though, you were just talking about Zeus. Definitely one of the players that we're gonna like to see going on for TOL and stuff like that. But talk about him during fight night, though.
I talked to Apex afterwards, and what they said was the secret to beating, our comp was just the mobility.
Yep.
And the fact that Zeus seemed to be everywhere on the mat at all times, and just his mobility and the way he was able to out-rotate Apex, they said was a huge difference in the match.
Yeah.
So, when we're watching these games today, one thing to look for is not just necessarily how mechanically strong these players are, but can they rotate?
Yep.
That's something that's so... I see it all the time. It's a skill that's really, really, really hard to master. You really need to know the maps. And if you're a newer player and you're watching this, PvP in Guild Wars 2 is all about communicating with your team,
right,
and making sure that you're in the right position and you're rotating into the right fights.
Mm-hmm.
If your team just wiped at mid and you're on respawn and the rest of your team is respawning and you've just come into the map, don't go to mid.
Yeah.
Don't go to mid. You're just going to die.
And not only that, when you're engaged in these team fights, and we saw it a lot versus Apex, and you see a lot of these teams coming through with Apex-style comps. I mean, just yesterday we saw, I believe, Enhanced Gaming running the Apex comp or something very similar. There's not a lot of mobility on those builds. So the ability to take a burst damage player like Zeus or like Noskok and move them and just peel out away from the fight and just try to pull someone out of the fight, so it's just wasted time, wasted effort for players like H-Man, players like Tarsus, players like Knight, then they can kind of get away scot-free and come back into it. So, yeah. So,
that was, again, putting your damage dealers in spots that they can be effective.
Yep.
I think was that is a key to this game. Making sure that you're protecting them and, again, rotating them into fights that they're going to make a difference. If you get Zeus with his strong burst and he comes into a fight and he bursts somebody down that has all of his defensive cooldowns already popped, has already, taken some damage, that's where a bursty player like Zeus or like Nas is going to be the most effective.
Right.
And you're going to want to look for that today, which teams are able to get their damage dealers to rotate into fights that they can +1 and immediately make that impact, immediately win that fight.
And definitely some things to look out for today is how a lot of these teams try to create favorable matchups, particularly against the split, but even the best teams are doing it not only on the split, but also going forward into the match, well into the match, even as the game is concluding, creating favorable matchups all the time and using good communication to do so. And what I mean by that is when you go against a team with like an elementalist, like a staff elementalist, so like say Chubbs or say Enhanced Gaming doing the same thing. Any team like that going with the staff elementals, which we've seen a lot lately, whether it be in queues, whether it be in TOL, whether it be on our fight night, Reevesy doing the staff elementalist in TOL 1. A lot of teams are trying to pick this up after seeing Chubbs do it. If you rotate someone with a lot of boon rip, a lot of burst damage, that's creating a favorable matchup for you to going forward, so you can take that staff elementalist out with no problems, and he won't be causing any problems for you. So that's definitely definitely something to look forward to. And a lot of people are making a lot of complaints about Warriors 2, but the thing is that favorable matchups, man.
Yeah.
That's just the thing. We just talked about it. K-Pud versus Tarsus. K-Pud bringing that Axe Sword Longbow build. That's a favorable matchup. I mean, that's something that we're definitely going to have to see a lot of the teams doing. And if you guys are watching at home and you're not used to a lot of the things we're seeing with SPVP, try to watch how they what they rotate and when they rotate. just seeing like who they send where. Sup QD on Mesmer, definitely going to be really nice to watch. They're going to be sending him to do a lot of the burst damage, a lot of the roaming. So definitely going to have to look at that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And again, hopefully we'll get to see some teams that we haven't seen before.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll get to see some new faces. We've said this once before, but I'd like to see one team just like straight out of Columbia from the last qualifier come out and actually have a difference.
Yep.
And actually qualify, so we can have some different teams, some different phases. I think honestly that's what Tournament of Legends 2 is all about.
Yep.
And I can't honestly wait
with
to
the
see
128 team
Yeah.
roster. I mean, you got to expect something to come out.
So our first match is going to be right after this. Stay tuned. We're going to take a quick break just to get the players in and make sure that the players are ready. And then we are going to have our first match of the Tournament of Legend 2 North American Qualifier number 2 today. First quarterfinal match coming up right after this. Okay, guys, so we have our first of the quarterfinal matches that we're showing, first of two. This is going to be Japan, Thailand, Croatia versus Angry Passengers. Japan, Thailand, Croatia against Angry Passengers. They have advanced to the quarterfinals. Japan, Thailand, Croatia, our fourth seed, one of those teams that we talked about on stream. Going to be interesting to see which team comes out on top. We're going to start with the builds. We're going to go over blue team first. Christian, whenever you're ready, go ahead and take it away.
All right, starting off from the first player here, we've got Doogie Wolfborn here, bringing that greatsword longbow, coming in with the intelligence sigil and the air sigil, trying to bring a little bit of burst potential on the swap. Looks like coming in with the longbow greatsword. Probably watched that Ready Up stream yesterday, trying to bring that just like we saw before with that other team that brought the longbow greatsword ranger. Maybe
Urantian making a name for himself, more people copying his style.
But the thing is though, is the other team going to be able to see this and respond to it, unlike some of the other teams were able to do you know before?
Yeah.
So Looking at the build here and the traits, definitely some casual or some things we've seen a lot recently with Read the Wind, a lot of longbow damage, a lot of damage modifiers. Something that's different though, he's going into the nature magic tree. And the reason I think he's doing this is because he wants to make sure that he gets a good amount of Condi removal from that last one, Survival of the Fittest. It's going to give him a little bit of burst damage with the Fury, and it's also going to remove some of those conditions, something that this build does not actually have a lot of outside of that Signet of Renewal, which unfortunately has a really big cooldown. Dodging is also going to remove some conditions as well, and he's going to get a lot of boons for him and his pet. So definitely something new there. Going right down the list there, Grappler, Biken, running pretty standard, I think. A lot of what we've seen, a lot of the Guardians recently. Something he's doing instead, a little switch up, is he's gone for Sigil of the Water rather than Sigil of Renewal. Well, what that's going to do is get some more RNG healing, a lot more RNG healing, provided he doesn't do a lot of weapon swapping. The Sigil of Renewal is a lot more active. It's a lot more reliable. But that Sigil of Water just does a lot of healing whenever you're putting pressure on that node. So a lot of healing from that build. Otherwise, pretty standard Pure Voice and altruistic healing build.
Looking at the traits, it looked pretty standard.
Yeah. Other than that, it's pretty
altruistic healing build that we've seen for a little bit.
Yeah. Going right down the list there again. We're going right down to the standard Hambo, it looks like. Nothing really changing here. A lot of what we've seen recently, the Strength runes, the Berserker Amulet, Intelligence on the Hammer. One thing that he did instead was change the Air Sigil over from Fire Sigil. It's going to add a little bit more burst, but a little bit less AoE. Not a huge difference. Otherwise, the build is pretty much the same from what we've seen recently. Going right down to the next warrior, it looks like he's going to be running actually the Axe Sword longbow that we're used to seeing K-Pud run, and a lot of those EU warriors run with the Celestial Amulet now, providing a little bit more sustain, a little bit more, a little bit less burst damage, but a lot more sustained damage. Otherwise, the build, again, is fairly typical of what we've seen. Moving right on to the Thief there, Tyjan Despy. Running something that we've seen a lot recently as well. We've got the Sword Dagger build.
Interesting that he's not going into acrobatics though. He's staying in critical strikes.
Yeah, that's something that we used to see a lot of before saw Sizer and I believe Shad as well.
Yep.
Doing the same things with the acro tree, but he's. Otherwise, like a fairly standard build, a lot of burst damage. They're going to have to look out for him. A lot of evades on that build as well. But he actually went for the stun break instead of that free double dodge as well. So a little bit less Condi peel that they'll have to look out for.
So that takes care of Angry Passengers. That's our blue team for this match. I'm going to go ahead and go down the builds for Japan, Thailand, Croatia, our red team. We're going to start with the Ranger. Looking at this, you've got the standard... he's running, let's see here, it looks like the standard Spirit Ranger build that we've seen make popular for a while. But interesting, he's running with the Warhorn. That's not something you normally see. You've got the Sword Dagger normally on that build. But he's going to run with the Warhorn. Looks like he's going to give his team just a little extra fury.
He's also running that Axe Dagger as well.
Axe Dagger as well, instead of the short bow. So just a little, different take on it.
A little bit old school, I believe, because it's running that Settler Amulet that we haven't actually seen in a while. Yeah. And he's got triple spirits and not double spirits, bringing the Frost Spirit with a Settler's Amulet. Wow. Not a lot of damage to provide bonuses to, except for if they're going to rotate him in team fights. So what I believe is they're going to try to make sure that this Ranger is in all of these team fights and trying to do as little 1v1ing as possible.
Looking over at the traits, we've got, it looks like, again, the standard traits. It looks like he's not doing anything out of the ordinary there, going with the 2066. Again, having the spirits follow you, which is mandatory for a spirit build. Just all looks pretty standard looking at this. Shared Anguish, though, interesting, again, something that you would definitely need to have. So that Shared Anguish might help him not have to have a Stunbreaker. Looking over at the NG, we've got 60062. He's running with the Pistol Shield, Celestial build, Rune of the Balthazar. So we got a standard Balthazar NG. So that will be interesting to see. Again, the traits being 60062. Running with the Thumper turret, the nades, and the toolkit. Looking down at the second Ranger, Mario. Another Spirit Ranger, a little bit more standard, but again, going with that Warhorn. So this team really seems to like their Spirit Rangers having that Warhorn. He's going with the Carrion's Amulet, so he's a little bit more damagey, and the Nightmare Runes. But besides that, interesting weapon sets, again, coming out from these Rangers. Looking at the traits, though, again, pretty standard, 20660.
Yep. And right on next to the Necro, something that we've been enjoying seeing this a lot ever since Noskok brought it. It's your typical power build using wells, actually. He's running 62006 with the well trait, so he's going to be probably running 2 wells in that Spectral Walk, just using these minions for the initial life force. Running Runes of the Traveler for that movement speed, and otherwise pretty standard. Moving on to the NG, Naomi J, a member we're used to seeing running the Pirate Runes, running the standard, Celestial 60062 build, something that we're used to seeing. So with that, let's
get
go
the
ahead.
teams readied up. I think we've waited enough. Let's see some Guild Wars, all right?
Yep.
The match starts soon.
So the match is going to start soon. Very excited to see these splits.
All right, we're just waiting for the teams to ready up here, guys.
Interesting to note that new Thailand, Croatia not running a Guardian. So we're going to have to see how they fare in these team fights. I'm thinking they think that the Rangers, the Spirit Rangers, are going to give them enough team support. Looking at the split, though, right away, we've got
Naomi J's crossing solo. We got 3 heading towards mid, and we've got Mario, who we expected to be their 1v1 Spirit Ranger because of the double spirits and the Carrion Amulet. Going back to home, looks like blue team is not sending anyone far. They're going to let them cap that node for free, and that thief, Taijin the Spy, is going to sit there and just kind of watch to make sure that nobody crosses. So both teams managed to get both of their home nodes, and the fight is looking like it's going to go directly to mid. Everybody is probably going to go here and try to get
right
all
away.
Of their
right away,
there.
Imagine from blue team taking a lot of pressure. He's already gone down into the downstate. That Necro ledging up on top in Lich form, doing the pain, laying down the pain, but right away, too, we've got the Thief on blue team pressuring the Necro at the same time. Imagine gets stomped out.
Yep. And Violet just gets right back up into Death Shroud, going to try to stay on that life force pool as long as he can, because as soon as he gets out, he's at 20% HP, so he's got to watch himself.
The Guardian from blue team is about to get stomped out by the NG from red. So first fight not going going so well
definitely
for blue team.
A great start for red team. Vailu's still under some pressure. He's got some poison on him as well. He's going to go down into the downstate as well. But it looks like with 2 people down, with 1 person already out from blue team, red team's going to get their Necro up. They're going to take mid, and they're going to start the pressure on far, I believe, with that Spirit Ranger, Doogie Wolfborn. So we're going to have to see how blue kind of reacts to this. I mean, with a 2-cap disadvantage, already 30 points down, how are they going to respond to this?
Blue team, you're going to have to regroup. Now, one thing I see a lot of teams make a mistake on is you lose that first big team fight at mid, and then you panic, and you don't regroup. You start rotating into matches that you don't want to have, and you start +1ing fights that you shouldn't +1. Again, blue team needs to regroup, either come back as a team and pressure mid again and try to win that team fight, or split up and make the red team split up. But it looks like they trickled into mid a little bit.
Definitely exactly what you just said.
Imagine again the warrior from blue team on Angry Passengers just getting stomped out, and blue team seems to be really reeling here at the start. The thief is probably should look for a back cap or see if he can get a back cap, but at the same time, Mario is sitting there watching the close point for red team. So if you're blue team, you got to regroup. You got to start putting pressure on that back node, because it looks like mid is just not happening for you.
Yeah, blue team there. They just tried to trickle into mid. They tried to move the fight forward, and they just kind of walked through too much damage. And we saw Majin go down there. It looks like the Taijin Despy Thief, he got taken out as well. Didn't get that back cap. Didn't really even move for the back cap. Definitely a strong advantage for red team. I'm going to go ahead and say that red team, looking how they are right now, red team's going to take this match uncontested.
The key fight going on right now is the one going on at Mine. Okay, so looking over at Mine right now, we've got Majin versus Mario. Now, see, I think Hambo just has that advantage over a Spirit Ranger because you can CC lock him. And as long as blue team is able to rotate over there, this fight could go in blue team's favor.
Yeah.
Mario just went down, like we saw. The Thief came in, bursted him down, took him down. So they got to get the stomp on there. The engineer for red team has rotated into that fight, but that's a 2v1 in favor of blue team. If you're blue team, you got to win this fight right now. You've got to decap the point, and you've got to win this fight and get back in this game.
And I'm going to say something now that I think is going to make some people upset. But Spirit Ranger is one of those classes that, in order to play against some top Hambos, some really tough matchups like that, you really have to be such a strong player. You have to manage your dodges. You have to manage your weapon kit evades. You have to manage your blinds. You have to manage your protection. You have to manage all these things all at once, or you're just going to downright lose. That's an unfavorable matchup for you.
Red team just rotated into that fight on Mine. They were able to take down the Warrior Majin again, and looks like red is going to have this node pretty secure. We did see the Guardian from blue team come in and +1 that fight and try to stall, but he's not really going to be able to do much damage. He's not going to win that fight. It looks like he's just trolling it right now, trying to keep it neuted. But man, that was a fight you really had to win if you were a blue team. So now the Thief, again, just going down. Thief for Angry Passengers is down on mid. Wasn't able to do anything there.
And they're just going to let him bleed out, just try to take as much time as possible. Like I said, with the 2-cap happening right now, and pretty much the only person on red team that's really taking any pressure, as we're used to seeing, is the Necro. That's probably blue team's main target in team fights. But aside from that, I mean, Mario went down once, but other than that, I mean...
So we've got a 3v1 going on at midpoint right now in favor of the blue team. No trolling, really trying to stay alive.
3v3, just like that.
Again, red team was able to rotate in and support that fight. You even got the Necro, so now it's quickly flipped into a 4v3 in favor of red team. Let's see, again, you got 4 players on the red team at mid. Now's the time to try to push far, try to push Mine and see if you can do something if you're blue team. Which we see the Thief. The Thief is rotating over there, rotating over to Mine, trying to put some pressure on that point. Let's see if he can get a decap or maybe bring Mario down, which he's actually doing a pretty good job of over here at Mine. He's taking him down really fast. All that heavy damage pressure coming out. Yes, he's actually able to win that fight. So good things happening finally for the blue team. Oh, but the Thief just missed the stomp.
Fight.
And now it's a downstate fight, and the Ranger has the advantage there.
Here's the thing. If you get a Ranger into a downstate, unless you have someone moving over, which now you see Naomi J with his little tropical bird moving over, he's going to get the res. But Naomi may not have had to have done that.
He didn't need to do that.
But definitely red team, again, taking the advantage. Neither team really going for the bosses, trying to make up for lost points. Red team is only 140 points out now. It's really looking like it's a downhill battle now.
Yeah.
So
red team, if you're red team right now, you can just put this into cruise control. And just make sure that you're watching the points, but you really you can play defensively. You don't have to be too aggressive. You shouldn't be pushing into far right now. Just hold that 2-cap for the rest of this match, and you're going to win. Again, blue team, you got to do something. You got to start putting pressure on far, a little bit more pressure, or you've got to wait. You got to move into mid together as a team and try to win that.
But here we go. Blue team's actually putting a lot of pressure on mid. It looks like a 2v1 situation with Sidley going out there, the NG, and now they're going to be able to go ahead and 2v1 this power Necro, which...
but no trolling coming in to +1 this fight. Spirit Ranger, that's going to be a hard person to get off that point, too. Again.
2 members of blue team coming in, though, as well, so it looks like the fight's going to even out a little bit. It's just going to be a question of can they get that stomp, and they get it. Blue team's going to put a lot of pressure on this midpoint, but is it too late now with only 70 points left on the scoreboard to tick out?
Just a little too late, I think.
They've got no trolling on point with that Stellar Zamia build we just talked about. A lot of ability in the team fight, a lot of support with those triple
spirits. They even have Mario here as well, so they got both Spirit Rangers sitting here on this point. They know they just need to keep this fight going, keep blue team locked into this fight, and they're going to take this 1-0. Looking over, though, the one warrior from blue team did cross over. He's in a one-on-one against the Necro on red team. That's a matchup I think the warrior can take. That's a matchup that's definitely in his favor. But again, a little too late. Just a little too late putting that pressure on far point.
Yep. So here we go, red team taking that early victory. It's going to look like 500 to probably about 270, 280 for the final score. Blue team taking some kills here, but sadly just too little too late, unfortunately. So we're going to look to see how they go ahead and, try to make some changes here. Maybe apply some pressure to the other nodes. Try to get some damage out on some correct targets here. Blue team definitely going to have to talk to a couple of their members. Maybe just trying to walking into some really unfavorable matchups.
Yeah.
We just talked about the Thief. Not a lot of Condi clear. Didn't take that Signet with the Condi peel on it. Took the one with the stun breaker, and every single time it looked like Mario was just hunting him down. The Engis with a lot of Condis. This matchup, this red team is Condi heavy. So coming into a situation here where you don't have a lot of Condi peel or Condi cleanse, I mean, you're gonna have a bad time, and they need to make some changes, or they're gonna keep seeing this 500 to 260 matchup.
They lost the first fight on mid.
Right.
Blue team, Angry Passengers. They lost the first fight on mid, and they never regrouped from that.
Yep.
I honestly think they got wiped pretty fast at mid the first time around, and they didn't actually come together as a team, wait for everybody to respawn, and then decide what you're doing. Okay.
Yep.
They rushed their decision a little bit, and we saw that the second time when they respawned and they kind of trickled into mid just a little too much. They took too much damage on the way. There wasn't any far point pressure, so red team didn't even have to worry about their home node. That was kind of the key, I think, to the first game. Let's see how it plays out on the second game. Now, the second game is going to be on Legacy of the Foe Fire.
Yep. My personal favorite.
You get those big comeback moments at the Lord. This should be fun to watch. Let's see if Blue Team Angry Passengers can do just a little bit better.
And just going right back into it, guys, looking right at the blue team, we're going to look straight at the Thief if we can. The Thief, we were just talking about him going a little bit too into the not being able to take off Condis. And if we look at the build on the Thief here, Taijin to Spy, he actually changed something. He changed something really, really small, really minute. He changed his Shadow Step, I believe, to that Signet that we were just talking about with the Condi
for that
cleanse.
extra Condi cleanse.
But here's the thing. I think that might have been a mistake.
Really?
I think with the Shadow Step, the added mobility that you get it, as well as the Condi clear, arguably just as much as the Signet, I think he just should have changed out that other Signet. He's now running double Signet with the Shadow Refuge, and I don't know if it's the right decision.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm torn on the decision. I think with the two Rangers, you're not going to see both of them on point. So I think he could have gone with what you were talking about.
Yep.
To be honest with you, I don't know if the change was absolutely necessary. But looking at the other builds, I don't think if you're a red team, you're going to change much of what you're doing. I don't think you need to. Again, let's see what adjustments they make in their rotations. Let's see if they are able to win this map, take it 2-0, and move on to the next round.
Yep. And I'm just going through, looking at the builds. It looks like the Axe Sword Warrior +9. If we take a look at +9's build here, he actually changed his build. Something we might not have caught. He changed that Endure Pain to the Signet of Stamina, and the reason being is just like we talked about, the condition clear. It's absolutely vital against a comp like this. You need to have that sort of thing. Grappler actually changed his build as well, so a lot of changes coming from Blue Team to try to kind of counter this. So looking at the Guardian here, if we look straight away at his traits here, just straight away at the traits, we have an old school Virtues build here. We have that stab, we have that extra Condi peel, we still have pure voice. He's gone for purity, so that anti-Condi that we were just talking about, that might be enough. Those couple of changes, that might be enough. And going directly down to the next Hambo, Majin, the guy that had a little bit of trouble in the beginning, a little bit of shakiness, kind of came back in the latter rounds, or the latter part of the round. He went and changed for Signet of Stamina over Endure Pain as well.
Interesting.
So it
Well,
might be enough.
With the team fight being so important on this map at the very beginning, winning that mid graveyard point since it's so big, let's see if these changes are actually going to help blue team take this game and tie up the set. But let's go ahead and get started. The teams are ready, so we are going to begin. The match is starting soon. Let's take a look at the split.
All right, definitely something we're going to watch is typically we see a lot of the Warriors coming out to home. Reason being, it's just a really strong dueling class. If you send the one, if you do the 2-2-1 or the 1-2-2, that Warrior is going to be able to sustain the 2v1 for however long they need to, and they're going to be able to kind of hold that off and possibly win a 1v1.
We've got the Ranger and the Thief from blue team. Looks like they're going to push far. They're thinking about it. They're kind of getting in between.
Yep.
Haven't decided yet. And the Thief is now rotating into midpoint where you've got just the Guardian against the Angie and the Ranger.
It's going to create a 3v2 scenario, and we got a 2v2 over there at Waterfall. But the big thing we want to watch here is that is that mid fight. That mid
and
fight.
you've already got the NG going down, getting stomped out. You've got just the Necro in Lich form.
Already.
Lich form, trying to stay alive against 3 players. He's not even on the point.
Ripped.
He's not going to be able to control this point.
Right.
Somebody from red team has to get on that point now. Otherwise, it's going to go into favor of blue team, and it does. Angry Passenger is able to secure that all-important mid point really easy. Not really contested at the start.
Unfortunately, with that Waterfall fight, though, with blue team kind of losing that, Taijin coming in a little bit too late, probably needs to turn around right now and not go into that unless he can get that SR res, which he might actually be able to pull off here, and he does.
He does.
It
Wow.
looks like it's going to be a reset on that 2v2 with Majin back up, with the Thief up, and they're going to have 2 healthy people from red team.
Power Necro coming over
here
for red team, trying to +1 that fight.
Majin down again, though, unfortunately.
You've got Angry Passengers rotating their Ranger. Not going to make a difference, though. I don't think you got 4 players now from red team over here on this point. I don't know. I think this fight's pretty much going in favor of red team now.
Yeah. Again, here's the 2-cap coming out with the Waterfall fight being lost on blue team. They did much better, in my opinion, sending the right people to the right places. However, unfortunately, lost those 2v2 matchups. Unfortunately, did not send the right amount of people to mid. Probably had some miscommunication there. And they unfortunately lost both. Blue team, spent too much people on mid and did not send enough to the fight at Waterfall to make sure that they got that. So
now if you're red team, you just got to control the side points, play that side point game. Taking back the midpoint is going to be very, very hard. Very difficult. That's going to be something that moving forward, if you're red team, just play the side points. Don't try to push into mid too much. And again, we've got a fight now developing over on the Waterfall. 3v2 over here on Waterfall. Both NGs for red team facing off against the Thief, the Guardian, and the Ranger for blue team. But the no trolling, the Ranger for red team coming in and +1 that fight right away. Looks like this is a stalemate for the moment, but no, see here, the NG is coming down. NG is coming down real fast, taking a lot of pressure. Sidley Gix just got spiked down by the Thief. Let's see if they can get him up. A lot of cleave going down on that body. But the Thief is going to go down too for blue team. Guardian just goes down. Guardian was able to, they were able to get the stop though, so rezzing both of his teammates up. That was huge considering he had 2 teammates down in the downstate.
And here we go. I think a lot of the changes that blue team made were good. Taijin Spy might be able to get that res off, although a lot of cleave going down on him. Unfortunately, he's going to go down. However, blue team did manage to cap that Waterfall node. It's going to go under a lot of contention here. They might wind up losing it, but being able to hold that, at least for the time being, it looks like Grappler Biken is going to go into downstate as well. Shelter not being able to come off cooldown early enough for him. But being able to hold that at least for a little bit, keeps them in the game. Keeps them in the game. Yeah. So here they are, 50 points out. It's 1-1. We still got a game on our hands.
And blue team is doing a much better job at least putting consistent pressure on points, rotating into fights a lot. This fight on Waterfall still could go either way. I know it's it's a 4. Let's see here. Yeah, 4v3, but you've got a lot of pressure going down on +9, but again, that point still hasn't been capped, so you're still keeping that point neutered. +9, you got to get down on the waterfall. He goes down just off the point. Power Necro able to train him down. But the Thief trolled, died on the point, so that point's going to stay neutered. They're just recapping it now. At the same time, you got to put some pressure now on Quarry for blue team, which they already are. You see the Warrior for blue team going up against the Ranger for red team over there on that far point, over there on the Quarry. That you want to win that matchup if you're Imagine. You need to win that right now and get that point.
Yep. And unfortunately, red team managed to hold that node, like you were just talking about. +9 going down, full dead. Doogie just kind of walking around the map. Doesn't seem like he has any idea of where to go.
No. And you know what? Blue team they're in danger of losing mid right now. No trolling. The Ranger and the Necro for red team slid into mid, put some pressure, and was able to actually down the Guardian that was there. They get him back up, though, so it looks like that threat to mid might be avoided. But, man, that could have been really bad for blue team moving forward.
But here we go. Mario is in the downstate here. It looks like Majin and Mario are entering another down fight again, just like the last match, where, again, Mario obviously does have the upper hand
and look
here.
at red team and how fast they're able to rotate over. That's been the difference that we've seen this entire match.
However, Mario managed to actually get that. Yeah, Mario managed to actually die before Majin did. No trolling went out as well at midpoint. It looks like blue team managed to hold that node, and they still have pressure on Quarry. I would honestly like to see where this Warrior is going to go at mid here. +9, I believe. It looks like he's trying to make a move towards Quarry here. But it's going to be down to this. The NG is just sitting out there waiting for it. It could possibly turn into a 1v1 scenario for that second point there. But a lot of pressure going out from both sides here at the Quarry fight. Definitely going to have to check to see what's going on here.
You know, right now, it looks like red team is going to take this. They were able to rotate in. They've got all 4 of their members over on the Quarry. Just a lot of damage going out on their Guardian for blue team. The Guardian's just, pressure. At the same time, the Thief has had to hop out, reset his positioning a lot due to the Condi pressure. Able to get the spike down, though, on the Necro. If they can get the stomp out here, this could be a turning point for him. But yes, they were able to get the stop. The Guardian was able to come in and stomp out the Necro, so now turns into a 3v3 even matchup on Quarry. Again, one of the NGs, Naomi J, is starting to go down too. He's getting a lot of pressure from the Thief on blue team. This is the opening. They spike him down. Let's see if they're able to get the stomp.
Naomi's coming back up. Grappler.
Not enough cleave. Not enough cleave on that body.
There's just the right amount of cleave on Grappler here. They managed to get the stomp. Red team managed to get the stomp. 100 points out, 150 points, 100 points out and 250 points out for blue team. Their whole entire team wiping here. Definitely another scenario as last time, but definitely a better showing than what we saw in the last game. A lot of changes were made, a lot of good changes, I believe. However, still probably some miscommunication as per what we saw regarding who to send where, that kind of thing. Like, you just need to have down. Like that, it takes time to practice that. It takes time to gain that synergy. Something that's really important. And here we go, red team
putting that pressure on mid again. Quickly rotating over to Waterfall 2, but they've got Waterfall covered. I think this is pretty much it for Angry Passengers. I think we're going to see Japan, Croatia take this. Japan, Thailand, Croatia, sorry, take this 2-0. They were better at rotating. Much better at getting into fights quickly. They protected their home node, didn't allow a lot of 1v1s to occur on that home node without some help,
Yeah, and we had Vailu kind of doing a lot of the work, sort of putting the team on his back, though, doing a lot of the damage for that team. They definitely have a lot of Connie damage, but Vailu bringing pretty much the only real strong power burst damage there, and a lot of it on that well build with Lich Form. Just rotating him correctly with some level of support on the NGs and the Rangers, both kind of protecting him, giving him the boons that he needs, like the protection on the Spirit Ranger, and a lot of burst damage added with the added burn, a lot of the added condis that they're kind of focusing on clearing those condis. So you know, his burst damage just kind of went unnoticed, and it really just destroyed them. And blue team just wasn't quick enough about getting on that Necro, who really only has one stun break, one reposition. Unfortunately for blue team, it looks like red team comes out, and a well-deserved win for red team, undoubtedly.
Yep. Again, you know, so we'll see Japan, Thailand, Croatia take it 2-0, move on to the semifinals. They've got a shot at qualifying for the Tournament of Legends 2 final here on August 24th. Remember, guys, please follow the channel down below. Follow us on Twitter if you can. In order to get any of the prizes today, you have to be doing that. So you need to follow us on Twitter and follow us on the stream today.
Yeah, and I believe right now we're going to go into a Twitter giveaway. So if you haven't done it already and you have a lot of opportunities going forward, you need to go ahead and go on our Twitter page. And we'll go ahead and put a link for you in chat so you guys can find that. Go on our Twitter, follow us, like us, you know, whatever, and send us a tweet. Send us a tweet so we know who you are. Say something to us. Let us know you're present, and we'll go ahead. And that's enough to enter you into the giveaway.
At the same time, Misspedia, I believe, is doing the same thing. I talked to Seraph on Skype earlier today. He said he's doing the same thing over at Misspedia. So, you know, once you follow us, tweet something at us, then do the same thing. And
double your chances.
Double your chances. Exactly. So let's go ahead and talk about this next matchup coming up.
Yeah, and just to remind you guys, the Twitter link is really easy to find. It's just below the actual video feed, so it's really easy for you guys to get that. So make sure you guys do that.
Exactly. So looking at the bracket, we've seen No Clue, our number 2 seed, actually advance into the quarterfinals. So No Clue is coming.
Something we expected to see, honestly.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Definitely another team to look out for, like we talked about early. Team Holy, you know, the third place seed is that one that we haven't seen play yet. We will probably see them later if everything goes according to the seeding, which so far we've seen a lot of that happening. However, you never know; it could be an upset. You never know.
Yeah.
But that team is looking to go ahead and do their game right now, I believe.
I believe so.
So we'll check back into that for sure after the next match.
Yep. So again, guys, a lot of giveaways to go ahead and do. Making sure you're following us on Twitter, following us on the stream. We're going to go ahead and go straight into the next match. Sorry, I was just waiting for to be told. So let's go ahead and check out.
All right. Actually, before we go ahead and do that, let's go ahead and do the raffle here. I believe we have a winner. Is that correct?
No, we need to do the raffle right now. So, guys,
okay.
What you need to do, we're going to give away one more llama mini pet, and just to clarify, this is for a llama mini pet, not gems. You need to right now hit !raffle to win this mini pet. !raffle in the Twitch chat. !raffle. Go ahead and type that in, spam that for us, and in a couple seconds we'll announce the winner.
Yep. So just go ahead and spam away. You know, I believe there's a 30-second flood thing, but beyond that, just go for it.
Yeah.
Every 30 seconds, just what is it? Exclamation mark raffle. Put that in the chat as many times as you want to. We'll have a winner for you as soon as we can. I believe right now we're actually going to go into a break, and right after that, we're going to have the winners for those raffles and the next match.
So we're just waiting for the teams to be ready in the next room. So we're just going to take a quick break, and then we'll go ahead and announce the winner of our first raffle, and then we're going to see our next match.
All right.
See you guys in a bit. right, and welcome back, guys. Sorry about that. We have the winner of the raffle to announce right away. The next winner of the Llama Mini Pet. Now, remember, this is only our second giveaway for the Llama Mini Pet, so we have got three more left to do after this one. So the winner, though, without further delay, is Miss Cutie Patootie.
Congratulations.
Interesting name. Miss Cutie Patootie wins the second Llama Mini Pet. So congratulations to you. Again, guys, if you want to be able to win these mini pets, you need to follow us down at the bottom. Okay, so follow us on Twitch down at the bottom. Make sure that you've done that. Now, the reason we actually had for the delay is we were planning on showing you guys the second quarterfinals. We're still going to show a quarterfinal match, but the one that we had planned to show, actually one of the teams dropped out.
Yep.
So we, unfortunately, but in talking to the team that dropped out, they actually didn't expect to get that far. So one of their fifth had to leave because he had something else going on later today, and they just weren't expecting to get this far. It was No Clue versus Triumphatores in Nebulous. I know I'm butchering that name. But No Clue is going to win that set via forfeit. So we're going to have No Clue in the semifinals.
Yep.
And
versus the winner of the match of Team Holy versus whoever finishes that round 2.
So some of the teams that you were predicting earlier, No Clue, Team Holy, they're already advancing. Already moving on. So we saw Japan, Thailand, Croatia advance against Angry Passengers. So that semifinal match is already set. We're going to have Megalodon confirmed versus Japan, Thailand, Croatia as our first semifinal. And then in our other semifinal match, we're going to have No Clue versus the other team that ends up getting to that point as the tournament still progresses. So in the meantime, we're going to jump into another match that is ongoing, just to give you some more Guild Wars 2 PvP action. It's just about wrapping up, but we're going to go ahead and cut to that match since we had that unexpected delay.
And just taking a look at giving some background info, Red Team, the team actually, Justin, you were just talking about in the beginning here, Guerreros de la, the rest is Spanish, and I don't know how to pronounce it.
De la Valencia.
Yeah. They actually were running a 4v5, and still, I mean, here we go at the very end of the game. Unfortunately,
very end of the game.
They are taking this victory under a situation where they had a 4v5. They were outnumbered, and they're still winning this. So it looks like a team here that you were just talking about that might bring an upset. I mean, not a lot of teams can go ahead and bring that 4v5 scenario and take that win, but here they are, 77-point lead under outnumbered play.
Wow. So again, that was the team that I gave the shout out to, Guerreros de la Ultima Valencia, winning their first match, taking it 500 to 423. And as you said earlier, they were actually in a 4v5 for a decent amount of time there. I believe it was the Necro that DC'd. So incredible. Good to see that they were able to pull that out. We'll follow that team probably for a little bit and see how far they're able to get. So looking at the bracket now, we've got Guerreros de la Ultima Valencia advancing. They're going to take on Jamaican bobsled team going up, and then they'll go up against Team Holy. Good stuff. Why don't we do another giveaway?
Okay.
Let's go ahead and do one more Llama Mini Pet giveaway right now. Right now, guys, spam in chat, !raffle, !raffle. Because of that Triumphatores and Nebulous dropping out, we've got a little bit more downtime before the next match. So why don't we do a raffle right now, give away another Llama Mini Pet.
Yep.
So again, spam that in chat. Make sure you're following our channel, okay? Make sure that you're following our channel in order to win that mini pet. Type it in right now, and when I've got the winner, I'll go ahead and announce it, okay? In the meantime, looking at how the day has progressed so far, what do you think the key to doing well in this tournament has been?
You know, we talked about it in the last match. We just saw a team go ahead and take 4v5, and the biggest thing, and a lot of top players talk about all the time, it's really just decision making and coming down to the rotations and creating favorable matchups. Sending the right players to the right location at the right time. Don't overcommit, don't undercommit. You know, it's an exact science, but one that you have to get down if you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
So,
and, I see a lot of people complaining about 4v5s in solo queue. It's possible. It's possible to pull it out, as we just saw there in that last match. I just wanted to emphasize that one more time. If you're in a solo queue match and it goes to a 4v5, tough it out, play it out, don't rage quit. Because I've won 4v5s, and we just saw a team playing 4v5 for the most part and actually pull that out on stream. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and we were actually watching it during the break. We were watching that round take place, and it wasn't the whole match. Like we gotta give blue team some credit. They definitely did a lot of great things during that match. Unfortunately, we weren't able to show them to you, but a good part of that match, they were definitely down a player for sure. At least a good 200 points or something like that for sure. They were down 4v5 and they still came out with it. So that just shows you, if you have the right rotations, if you send the right people to the right places at the right time, don't overcommit, don't undercommit. Don't send people that will create unfavorable matchups. You wouldn't want to send a Mesmer to go 1v1 a Thief or something like that, provided that you can't win that fight. If you know you can win that fight, go ahead. If you can't, don't send it. It's just wasted time, wasted effort, wasted resources.
Exactly. I'm still waiting on the winner. Let's see if we have that yet. Not yet. So what I think we should do real fast is try to find another game that we can show the viewers while we're waiting for the tournament to progress, and try to see if we can actually get some PvP on stream for you guys just in a couple seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to take one more quick break as we try to find another match. Like I said, we were planning on showing a best-of-3 match that we unfortunately had to cancel due to a team dropping out. But we're going to cut to another really quick break.
Right.
This one will be fast. We'll announce the winner of the second Llama Pet giveaway, and then we'll cut to another match real fast. Okay?
Yep.
All right. See you guys in a bit.